He is heard on tape saying, "I got the white girl." That suggests a potential racial motivation.
Potentially.
Yeah, okay, but we don't actually know. But he's clearly mentally ill, probably schizophrenic. We don't actually know what motivated him to kill this poor Ukrainian
Yes, we
woman.
do. He said, "I got that white girl." You're going to pretend that doesn't matter as if it's not proof
I didn't
enough.
say it didn't matter.
Third thing.
I said it suggests a racial motivation.
Everybody who somebody is mentally ill. This mentally ill bullshit. I don't know where this has come from, where someone's a criminal, but they're mentally ill. Every single person who commits murder is mentally ill. Every single person who commits pedophilia is mentally ill. Every single person who believes they can get in and out of a bank with money without getting caught has some kind of mental disorder. They're all mentally ill. I don't care about mentally ill. And here's the final nail in the coffin to your asinine argument, sir. Why did he not have anyone else on the bus? Because he was already on a bus with 4 people and he didn't touch them. If he's so mental, if he can't control his mind, why didn't he have any of those?
That's right, you know.
Welcome, my friends. My name is Antoine Phoenix, and this is my RP experience. Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, and turn on all notifications so you know when I have a whole new video up. We're going to run this story back again because this woman is not getting the coverage that she deserves. Now, understand, a lot of people is mourning the passing of Charlie Kirk. But I want to circle back to the Ukraine woman that was brutally stabbed in Carolina on a train. That they are covering, but they are not covering. This is the thing here, and I guess I never thought it would be a day that I would be saying this. But if this was reversed and a white person had stabbed some young black girl on the train, surrounded by other white people, and said, "I got that black girl," this nation would lose their mind. For one, the black people will all be in an uproar, like, see, they're racist. And anything coming out saying that the guy has problems, he has mental problems, he has issues, that would go clear out the window. They would zone in on everything that he said and what he did on that train. And the fact that there was other people around that looked like him that he did not try to stab as well. Now, of course, there was other white people in the train after he was walking around, and I'm going to show that clip right there. I didn't know this would be a racial thing, but when I look at the video and the woman just sits in front of him, I'm one of those people that try to read and piece a story together. Maybe it was something on her phone or something. Maybe they crossed paths before. Still no excuse for that. But when you just look at his face and how he gets triggered and then just stands up and does that particular thing, the action that he does, there's no excuse for that. And what's infuriating is there are people that will defend him or defend this. Oh, he had problems. Look, he was arrested 14 times. Obviously, they knew he was a bad apple. I have to blame everybody from, I don't know where his father was at. See, that's another reason why a lot of people say single parent homes, especially single moms raised by sons, a lot of them end up like that. Thing was, I was raised by a single mom. Now, I did have a stepdad for a while, so I do think he played a little part in my upbringing. But I turned out okay. But on the majority, no, they do not do well. And even with that, even though I came out not becoming a criminal, it still was a thing of there was only certain things that a man could teach me that she could not. So I'm going to share this video right here and let's go.
All the people that said that this crime wasn't about race and why am I making it about race? Before I show you what I'm about to show you, I want you to apologize in my comment section. You can send me a PayPal or Venmo at Check-In with Cody. Now check this out. Yes, that thug, after murdering her, said, "I got that white girl. I got that white girl." He killed her specifically because she was white. Because if you rewatch the video, you can see the anger in his eyes when she walks through the door and sits down. And he starts putting his hands over his face and he gets so upset because he has so much racism and anger towards her. To the progressives and the leftists and the judges and the attorneys and all those who are for soft on crime bills and policies, you are responsible for her death. This thug, this monster, this criminal was arrested 14 times. He shouldn't have been in public. He shouldn't have been anywhere near her. And yet, after getting off of work from a pizzeria, she just wanted to go home and relax. But instead, she gets stabbed to death. And for what? Because you so-called progressives want to give these thugs a second chance. Well, guess who's not going to get a second chance? Her. You want to know why she's not going to get a second chance? Because she's fucking dead. I'm sick of every single one of you progressives saying, oh, we need to give these criminals a second chance. We need to give them a second chance because they can be reformed, they can be changed. Where are the victims' second chances? You going to bring her back to life? I'm so sick and tired of you progressives ruining this country. Her death is on your hands. And the greatest irony of this whole thing is she posted on her socials that Black Lives Matter. She was a part of the movement that was for George Floyd, for that movement. When everyone was posting those black squares showing their support and solidarity for black people in their lives, she was speaking out. But when she was murdered by a cold-hearted thug, all of those progressives, all of the mainstream media were fucking silent.
That's right, you know.
Yes, and you see the video. He says it. Now, of course, they're saying, oh, he has issues, he has problems. Look, I'm tired of black people doing this. I'm tired of women doing this particular thing. Of denying that there's not bad apples on your side of the fence. I have to say my side of the fence. Look, I admit, I know that there are racist black people. Okay, I've seen that in action. Anytime a woman, a black woman, is getting mad at a white woman that's dating a black man, what other reason is it except her skin tone, her color? And not just white women, it could be hating on a Hispanic or an Asian woman. That's racism, okay? Because if it was reversed, that's exactly what it would be. The same thing with men hating on a white dude that's dating a sister. That would be the same thing. Now, of course, though, those are things people kind of let go because it depends if it's happening to you or if you are doing it. I have video of and I cannot share this on YouTube, video that I've seen on Twitter. Well, they call it X now, but on there they have video of black dudes laying out white women, just punching them and knocking them out in front of a mall or in front of a store or something. I don't know if they got into an altercation, what happened. Obviously, probably they was mouthing off to each other, but those dudes hit those women like a man. And you can't tell me that race didn't have somewhat of a thing with it, or gender, because while women will say there's a lot of men that's misogynist, there are women that are misandrous. But I guess the same thing that black people will deny that is not racism in our ranks. It will be a thing of like, oh, a black person cannot be racist, or a woman cannot be misandrous because of everything that has happened in the past that the other side has did. It excuses you of all your bad behavior now. I refuse that shit. Okay? Because I've been on the other side of people of my same skin tone discriminating against me because either I talk different or I act different, or either I'm too dark, or whatever the case may be. And while that may not be racism, still that's still a symptom of looking down on someone that is different from you. Okay? And when you break racism down, that's what it is. In all my other videos, I do not give him a pass. I don't give a fuck that he has mental problems, because as I say, I experienced that myself, and people did not pay attention when a person did have an issue, and then once they deleted someone, it's like, oh, let's get them committed. And that's the bad thing with the law with this, is that until they actually hurt someone and probably delete someone, that's when they don't have no say on getting committed somewhere. But as far as what I heard, he's going to be going to a state jail. So I have one more video before I go, and then that will be it.
He was reportedly heard saying, I got that white girl after killing her, which, if it was the other way around,
There's no evidence of that.
That was a beautiful young black girl who had been murdered by a white man who'd said, I got that black girl, I think all hell would have broken loose in the mainstream media. And I say that as someone who's been in the mainstream media
evidence of that
for a long time, right? So
it's on video.
It's literally on video.
We have
Mark.
no evidence. I mean, I'm astonished, truly, Piers, hearing what I'm hearing today, that it's just not a sexy story. We only cover things that people care about, as if you shouldn't care about the death of a beautiful, innocent 23-year-old girl who fled a literal war zone to come to the United States and live a peaceful, prosperous life, coming home from her work shift to be brutally murdered, presumably simply because of her skin color and what she looks like. And we can say we have no evidence, or we don't know what the real motive was in this situation all day long. But the truth is, in an 8-minute video that has now been viewed billions of times on social media, I hope at this point, we hear twice, not once, but twice, I got that white girl, coming out of the mouth of the man who decided to commit this heinous crime. This is something that should be a firestorm for our culture, but it's incredibly telling to me that within moments after George Floyd's death, you saw the Catholic University of America instantly put up a mural of the Virgin Mary cradling George Floyd. You saw an Instagram trend that took over every single leading company, brand, influencer, celebrity's account, spurring millions of people to post a black square. And you saw our society change overnight with the rise of the Black Lives Matter movement. But now you can see literal days go by with CNN having 42,000+ stories of George Floyd on their website and 0 search results for Irina Zarutska within several days after an attack like this happens. And the Wall Street Journal wait to weigh in on this until days later on page 5 of the newspaper, in which their only headline was, "Women's stabbing death becomes MAGA talking point."
Right.
This is the clearest window into how much the media is doing everything they can to pit people against each other. And I, for one, am kind of grateful for how disgustingly they're treating this, because it's a wake-up call for humanity to realize we don't have to live this way. We don't have to expect that this is normal on a train ride home from work in Charlotte, North Carolina, for a beautiful young girl trying to provide for herself and create a better future. And the expectation that this should be a normal response to this outrage is disgusting to me.
I know if this was reversed, that is all the evidence that we as black people would need. They start raising hell about white people being racist. That's all that we would need. See, and because I found this space, the men's space, and the main thing that I gravitated to was accountability. Okay? And that's not just accountability of women need to be accountable, which women do need to be accountable of their actions and things that they are doing. But men definitely, we need to be accountable. Other nationalities, we need to be accountable for the people in our ranks that is cutting up. Do not look the other way. Call that bullshit out. Admit that sometimes we are wrong. That doesn't take anything away from you. Me calling that dude out does not diminish the man that I am. Okay? This is the thing where I think people always have things twisted. They won't help someone because it's like, oh, okay, that's too much work. I'm only worried about myself. But then when it comes to shielding your race, shielding your gender, or shielding something that would make you in a roundabout way look bad, then you will cover for it. Okay? This goes back to when there's people that I dated that for a short period of time, they were white and they did not like Hispanic people at that time. Would I say that they're racist? No, but they had issues with people just because they were Puerto Rican or Spanish. Just the fact that they speak in another language, they had a problem with them. What else would you call it? Now, did they change? Yes, they did change. I do think people can grow. This is why I think it's important that you be around other nationalities and not just your own. That way you don't get tunnel vision. You will think in a different way. I know that saved me. But it's hard when you are trying to call stuff out and then people are looking the other way. Like me, I'm the last person that would be, I'm black, but I'm the last person that would be calling racism unless if I believe something really was racist or prejudice, okay? Like with some people I dated and maybe I'm calling out something that maybe a friend of theirs or a relative of theirs has done, and I'll be like, hey, maybe they're a little prejudiced. No, not them. No, they wouldn't be like, why? Because you cool with them? Okay, you could be cool with a person and a person could be a serial killer. That doesn't take away from you being a decent person, but maybe you misjudged them. Maybe you don't know that part of their life. But when that part of them shows themselves to you and then you look the other way, then that's fucked up. Okay. So, which I know a lot of black people is going to ignore this particular thing, but we want, which we've already put back a lot of white people in the corner now to be scared to say certain things because they don't want to get canceled or lose their job or something. I think just because we have that power to don't abuse it, if we notice some of our own is acting in a certain kind of way, call that shit out and be like, yo, that's not right. or you are being racist. And just because you are black, because I know almost everybody living at this time, unless if you near 100 years old, you did not really live through real racism. Now, I have to say that depending on where you live in the country, I'm pretty sure there are some black people that do go through some real racist things. But I do think in most of the major cities, you are not going through it like that. If anything, you may be going through stuff with your own kind, depending on if you are trying to do better or certain issues there. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. If this man really does have mental issues, fine. But similar, like Andrew Tate said, kind of like, yeah, practically everybody that's out here doing some insane crimes or either touching kids has a mental problem. Do you give everybody a free pass just because they have a mental problem? And definitely don't do it just because they are a certain race now, okay? I mean, black people shouldn't be getting somewhat a pass if they are doing something against another race or nationality. Yeah, they should not be getting a pass. And this also goes to, I remember a video of some black people that was harassing a Asian person around that Black Lives Matter, the George Floyd thing. People was harassing those people. And of course, people was harassing Asian people around the COVID. So, look, everybody out here is bad in every nationality and every gender. Don't act like it's not there. That's part of the problem. So that's it. Give me a like and subscribe and have a good night.
But you can see me. Get out of here, bub. And you matter, alright? There's always going to be somebody that cares about you. And you're a good person. No matter what people say, you matter. Ignore them. They're losers. They're ding-dong ditching you. I'm just trying to say something nice. Like, I don't know what they're doing. They're running away and stuff. I'm just trying to say that you matter, man. Or girl. Whoever you are, you matter to someone. Just keep that in mind. Don't forget that.